As fly anglers, many of us are searching for it. What it actually is a very personal thing. For some, it may be fishing to create memories. For some, it is all about catching lots of fish. Some are just on the hunt for big fish.
Yes! Absolutely, look at this. This is the biggest brown trout of my career. This is awesome.
While some are looking for a unique experience. Whatever it is for you, the search for it is part of the allure of the sport of fly fishing. What if I was to tell you about a place that just might have everything fly anglers are looking for? A place that has it. I believe we have found such a place. You get a feeling flying into this place that there's something special going on. You get a feeling like you're stepping back in time. Back in time to something simple. Something comforting. Something lost in today's world. Welcome to Chile. Welcome to Magic Waters, Patagonia. The lodge is strategically placed to access some of the best trout fishing in the land. Rivers, streams, ponds, lakes, and even tiny spring creeks are loaded with unpressured fish. Big browns and big rainbows await your dry fly. Magic Waters Patagonia, for us, is it.
That is as great as fly fishing ever gets. You see a hatch go off, you match it, precision cast, skate it, and it's on. Oh, what a great, great fish. Thanks, buddy. And they're still feeding right there. You know, the sport of fly fishing takes us to some pretty incredible places. We meet some pretty awesome people and catch some pretty amazing fish. Well, we're all in it this week. Coming up on the new Fly Fisher, we're deep in Chilean Patagonia at Magic Waters Patagonia Lodge. This big fish adventure starts right now on the new Fly Fisher.
That's a nice size fish. What?
Absolutely fantastic.
The new Fly Fisher is supported by Magic Waters Patagonia, Orvis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada,
Magic Water's Patagonia Lodge is located amongst the mountains and literally has a view from every single window. The lodge, full service, is welcoming and warm with room for couples or larger groups of adventure seekers. With all the amenities of home, anglers can enjoy extremely warm hospitality, smiling faces, and excellent company. The lodge's chef-created meals are enjoyed family style, hosted by the Barretto family. Next to the dining room is the Great Room, where anglers enjoy local wines, local entertainment, and can simply tell stories of the day. Guides are fully bilingual and experts on all waters accessed by Magic Waters. Joining me on this Chilean adventure is good friend Tom Rosenbauer. We are chomping at the bit to get going, so Eduardo loads us up to hit a local river a short drive from the lodge. Up first, we are hoping for big brown trout keyed in on big terrestrials. It was a slow morning, but as the day wore on, conditions changed, and so did the attitude of the fish.
You might have noticed it's a little windy, which is very typical for Patagonia. And there's some tips to help you cheat the wind or beat the wind. One of the things you want to do is not to false cast if you can help it. So I'm fishing a dry dropper, and I've picked a big buoyant dry fly that I don't have to false cast to dry off. I could just make one cast, put it back on the water, and if you start false casting with a variable wind like this, chances are you're going to get in trouble. So that's one thing. Another thing is to use a shorter, stiffer leader. Normally I'd maybe fish 4X on this big dry fly, but I've gone back to 3X. I might even go to 2X. It's a big dry, so I can get away with that heavier tippet and a shorter tippet. Here in this flat water, we don't have to worry about drag much, so I can use a shorter, heavier tippet and a big dry and get away with it. You want to keep your dropper length fairly short. You know, the longer you have a nymph on a dropper, the more air resistant it becomes. And you know, if you feel like you have to false cast, what I'll often do is just dump a short cast in front of me and then pick that up and make a longer cast and shoot some line, rather than trying to false cast, because that fly going back and forth in the air in a wind like this is just going to get you in trouble. So those are a few things you can do. And also, one of the things, when you're casting into a wind, make sure you don't push your arm out like that, because you're pushing against the wind. Very important to raise and lower your elbow and bring that rod straight down into the wind. That's another thing that'll help you. So the best way to net a fish is to try, if you can, to get it upstream of you, and then lead the fish back and try to net it. Try to net it head first. Don't bonk them like I just did. And it's very difficult to try to net a fish tail first, because they often slip out of the net. So you want to try to get it so that their head is going into the net and then lift up. And if all possible, get it upstream of you. You can't always do that in really fast water. Here, the water's pretty slow, and I was able to lead the fish upstream of me. But you have to reach downstream, you have to do it.
The caddis have started going off.
Was that on the caddis too?
No, they took the terrestrial on this one. Nice fish, great fish. So I put on Eduardo put on a terrestrial, and I followed up with an elk hair caddis on the back end. And this guy came up and ate the Ate the terrestrial, and it's a good one. Nice brown, sweet fish. How do you like that? Thank you, sir. Cold water, huh? Lots of life. Magic Water's brown. Just
nice
incredible.
fish.
So good. So good.
So that was really Luciano's fish, not mine, because I was throwing up into the glare, and for the first cast, I couldn't see my big dry fly. I had a nymph hung under it. And Luciano's on the bank going, nymph, nymph, nymph. And I said, oh, and set the hook, and there was that big rainbow. And the fish took it pretty deep because I was slow on the strike. So we just left the fly in the fish. It's barbless. The fish will get it out in an hour or so, because it'll slip right out. So thank you, Luciano.
Oh, awesome, Tom. Teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork. Things are starting to pick up. You know, I stuck with a dry dropper. I caught a few on nymphs, a few rainbows, but I really wanted to catch a big brown today, or several big browns. And Mark has been having good luck on a Fat Albert, raising some nice fish, and I thought I would try a Fat Albert, and it's produced 3 or 4 nice browns in the space of about half an hour. So pretty happy with the fly switch. I'm not a big fly switcher, but sometimes it pays to pay attention to what's working for other people. So I've hooked 3 fish in this pool and they've all come off. And the natural tendency to think is, what did I do wrong? Well, I don't think I did anything wrong. They just came off. And that you're gonna have days like that. It just plain happens.
One of my favorite ways to target big trout is in very small creeks. This creek, though quite small, is known to harbor extremely big brown trout. Browns that apparently are quite technical to target. Today, Tom and I are guided by Guillermo Cifuentes.
Okay, so we've come up to the Spring Creek here at Magic Waters, Patagonia, and when we first arrived, there was a big brown trout that came right clean out of the water to take a bug out of the air. So I've got a caddis tied on with a pheasant tail dropper. I'm going to see if I can put it right where that fish was. We've seen him come up a couple of times. Let's see if we can do it. Springtime is the time to be fishing here. It's early season, and the fishing is incredible.
Tom drew the short straw. I'm up first.
So that was the ticket. That dropper sealed the deal. It's not the big one that we saw jumping, but you know what? Got a brown trout in the hole. Perfect. Nice fish though. Beautiful color. Yeah. Great fish.
Well, this is very interesting. We're fishing in these little tiny pockets along the Spring Creek. And I have lost every fish I've hooked this morning. That was about number 5, I think. But I threw the fly into this little tiny pocket here along the shore with a little pheasant tail nymph on it and twitched it and boom, the fly went under and there was a fish and there was a fish.
You knew it was gonna happen.
Boy.
Oh, look at the colors on this one,
Yeah,
Tom.
beautiful colors. And finally landed a fish. That was cool. The fish actually took the dry fly. We were using the dry fly as kind of an indicator. Just twitch, twitch, twitch. Guillermo would say, twitch, 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 twitch. And yeah, and so my first landed fish this morning after a long struggle with losing fish. So you got to keep at it, and sooner or later you can land a fish. The color, that fish is beautiful.
Beautiful. So we let this fish rest and came back with the caddis and the dropper. And I think this is the big one. I think this is the one we saw this morning. Took the pheasant tail. Oh my gosh, what a fish. Yes, sir. Oh my heavens. Look at that. Flies out. Great fish. Fantastic. Spring Creek fishing. Oh, so good.
decide to pack things up and hit another spring creek, this one just around the corner from Magic Waters. Tom and I split up to fish this tiny creek and attempt to cover more water. Tom manages to catch one nice brown trout, but when he was here in the spring, he really lit it up on this tiny spring creek.
I was looking the other way. Oh! Oh! Yeah, baby. Notice how on that fish, even though this is a big brown trout, I didn't put him on the reel. He didn't go anywhere. He fought in here in these weeds. He was trying to bury his head in the weeds. And if I had tried to fiddle and get my line on my reel, I probably would have lost the fish because I would have had slack there. So unless the fish takes line, don't use your reel. Strip it in. It's one way to land him. I don't think he's still on there though. Yeah, he is. Ah! Ha ha! Woo! So what's a good way to carry your rod broken down? Well, if you're going through a really brushy area, or if you're in a small car and you need to break your rod down, you don't really want to unstring the whole thing. You want to keep it ready to go. There's a really cool way of doing it. You start by finding your middle ferrule, break the rod down, you put your fly in the first guide at the tip section, and then you pull all the line till it's relatively tight, and then you reel in most of that extra line that you've got there, and you take your fly line and you run it around the back of your reel, and now you've got a loose piece of line outside the guides, and you just take this line and you wrap it 2 or 3 times around that stripping guide, and then you've got it. Reel it up a little bit maybe. Now you've got it. The rod's not going to come apart. You can go through the woods with it. It's not going to get tangled with other rods. If you have 2 or 3 rods in a car, it's going to stay together, and it's very easy to just reverse the process to get fishing again.
Magic Waters as a destination for anglers, I think, is a very special place to come. It's far, we're in Patagonia, but the good thing here is that we have a lot of waters around, diversity of waters, lakes, creeks, rivers, so there is a lot of choices to do every day. It can be a different day. So I think it's a very good place to come and fish for a week, maybe more. This is our home. It's actually our home for the summer. That's what we want to keep, this place like this, for you to come and feel home with us. We're going to share dinner with our family, our kids, Eduardo's father, sometimes my brother. So I think all the people that has come can feel that it's not something that is made of, This is our home, and if you come, you will be home with us. Yeah.
Well, I never thought that, I was going to own a lodge or work in fly fishing, but, one thing took me to other thing, and we started, with a very small cabin right here, just because of our clients, we started growing, and since then, now we have a bigger lodge. Yeah, well, we always like to share, the best waters with our clients, and we mostly get repeated customers or that they become friends. So, we're always trying to offer them, a better opportunity to fish a new place or to go explore. Well, if you want to visit and fish some of the most beautiful rivers in the planet, there you can catch some really nice sized fish on dry flies. So why to go somewhere else? And on top of that, good food, you're going to meet good friends, some of the best guides. If you have the chance to come to Patagonia, visit us. You will be super welcome. And well, many people come on that bucket list trip, but they end, coming every single year. And some of them, they come twice a year. Now we have a very beautiful experience here.
These amazing places. I mean, nothing that you can find in anywhere else. So we have horseback trips, we have great fly fishing, in the boats, wading, fishing, streaming, like spring creeks or rivers. In every location that all the lodges of Magic Waters are a perfect location, I mean, we are in a beautiful valley here, and like Magic Water is, we have Barroso Lake right behind of us. I have Laguna Maletas in front of us, so both have a great fishing when the guests barely arrive. So it's impressive. That is what I like of Magic Waters. And about the rest of the places, I don't have words, because it's indescribable. You see waterfalls everywhere, you see birds everywhere like kingfisher. We mostly caught in Magic Waters brown trouts in different size. So it depends what are you looking for, right? Because we have everything. We have a lot of trouts, and then we have big trouts too. So that is the good question that we do, like guides. Where do you want to go? So I chose a place so which kind of fish you can catch, quantity or size. I don't have another words to describe Magic Waters.
Magic Waters Patagonia Lodge is located amongst some of the more prolific trout fisheries in southern Chile. Literally within walking distance from your room is Lago Barroso. We got set up after breakfast and headed to the lake. Big terrestrials are the order of the day.
So what a lot of people that come from North America don't realize is that the lake fishing in Chile is spectacular, and it's not fishing a chironomid over a long dropper and sitting there looking at a bobber. It's mostly sight fishing. The water's clear. The fish will come up for dry flies. Just fish blind. You can fish a big beetle or a big hopper or whatever, dragonfly, and the fish will come up for them along the shoreline, in shallows, along the reeds. So a lot of it's sight fishing, and it's really fun, and the fish are big.
So at the beginning in springtime, the water, the fish, they try to find like a shallow water because it's much warmer. Mm-hmm. And also like many bugs that are on the trees, they're falling on the water, mm-hmm. and the trout, they're waiting for those. Mm-hmm. So many times you have the opportunity to see what happened. It's in the shallow, slow takes, and good sized fish. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so people, whoa, this fish is hot. People, you know, talk about lake fishing being boring. Well, it's not boring here. That brown trout came up and just smashed that beetle, and it feels like a good one. You don't fish dry flies with 2 and 1X very often, but you do here because the fish are big. Eva, and we came into a shallow here, and Eva said that's where they're gonna be because there's a creek coming in, there's all kind of food coming in, and that fish was right where Eva said he was gonna be.
Nice brown, Tom.
Yeah. Nice clear water. See the fish coming. Take that fly.
You tell me, Tom.
It doesn't get any better than that. Want me to net him? Oh. Beautiful.
Here on the shallows, in the corner where is the log, it's a lot of food that are coming to there. So we have a good opportunity to catch one. Actually, the fish that Tom already caught, it was too far from that spot. Beautiful! Now we're talking, Tom.
Yeah. Wow, there's a creek coming in here off a waterfall, and Eva says that, you know, all the food's washing in here, and there was the fish exactly where it should have been, right in this little bit slower, calmer part of the water. Oh, big fish. Wow. Beautiful. Woo. Yeah. Yeah.
Look that fat it is
Yeah.
after those worms that he ate.
Yeah.
Look like a bass.
It does look like a bass or a carp. Pond fishing is boring. 2 fish in the matter of 5 minutes, 1 in very shallow water, both on dry fly. We saw the eats on both of them. Doesn't get any better than that in trout fishing. So don't be afraid of fishing lakes when you come to Chile.
Yo! You got him?
Yeah, a little one.
Awesome!
So we saw that fish jump right out of the water in here in this foam line. You know, the fish are, you know, staying around these foam lines, and there's a dragonfly flying around, so he probably jumped out for a dragonfly. And we twitched this fly a little bit, and there he came.
Today we are fishing with Yves Barrientos at a nearby lake the lodge has aptly named 0 to Hero. So, question is, which category will we fall into?
Yves, what is going on today? Where are we and what are we looking for?
Oh, we are looking for different fish. On this lagoon, we have a lot of reeds, so a lot of dragonflies. And in general, those fish, they chase those flies like really aggressive. So that's the plan for the afternoon.
Awesome. So one of the great things about Magic Waters Patagonia is the fact that you can lake hop. There's so many lakes within a short drive distance from the lodge. I mean, this is just one of them, and it's literally 3 minutes away. It's absolutely perfect. You ready?
Yeah,
Let's play.
ready. Whoa!
I gotta get this guy on the roof.
Who needs mother?
So I put a water walker a foot off that stick there, and I looked down, and I didn't see the eat because I wasn't watching the hopper, the water walker, and my guide came to the rescue. Now I've got 1X on here, so we're gonna take this easy. One of the tips that I was told by somebody a long time ago when fighting big fish is never, ever touch your rod above the cork. Always use the cork and use your forearm as leverage to angle these fish in. If you touch the rod while you're fighting a big fish, that's not how the rod was designed, and you could risk breaking it. So you want to talk about guide and angler being a partner? That was it.
Awesome.
I wasn't paying attention and you were.
Always.
Yes! Absolutely, look at this. This is the biggest brown trout of my career. This is awesome. All right, we're here. Let's take a look at this guy safely in the shallows. When you come to Magic Waters, you really do have opportunities to dance with giants. Just amazing. Brown trout on a dry fly cannot be beat. Giant.
My goodness!
Oh my.
I can't believe it.
I don't know what
It
to
was
do.
almost in the same place.
Oh my goodness, it's huge. This is an absolutely unbelievable day. If you ever have questions about what it's like fishing lakes with dry flies, it is super fun. It is absolutely incredible. Yes! It is, it's bigger than the other one.
Well done. In this case, Mark, you don't need to like target really tight on the shoreline.
Okay.
You try to cover much water as possible. I think that is the goal here.
Okay. You know, it's a really tricky game casting these big flies, and we're doing this because of the explosive takes that these brown trout give up. And the reason why it's difficult is because A, you've got a giant fly, and these fish are so aggressive, they're coming sometimes 2 feet out of the air to grab these flies. Sometimes they miss them, sometimes you pull it out of their mouths, sometimes they come down on the fly. This guy got hooked up, and he's a nice one to start. All right. It's such a fun way to target these brown trout. Like they're just kaploosh. It's so fun.
Back to
Nice
the
fish.
water. It's going. That was cool.
That was really cool. I've never seen anything quite like this. These fish are completely airborne. Now, one of the things that you have to be mindful of is your hook set. and you almost have to feel that fish on your line before you can set the hook, right? It's because you don't know if it's got it or not. Yves was just saying too that, you know, if you miss a fish, to throw it right back there where that fish struck, because chances are either it'll come back again or there'll be another fish with it that will see that dragonfly imitation or this chubby Chernobyl as we have it on now, and come and eat it. So, you know, even though you miss a fish, your shot may not be blown. This is so fun. Good fish. So this is why those big brown trout are as voracious as they are. There's a natural. This is the dragonfly that they're eating off the surface of the water. So I'm fishing with a water walker, which is a very similar profile here as well. And then Yves also has some dragonfly patterns that he's actually tied up. And if you look at the size of the dragonfly fly compared to the natural, you can see that it's the perfect size for it. The other thing is that it's got a gray underbelly. It's got a gray bottom. And if you look at the underside of the natural, you can see that it is pretty much the same color. So you want to talk about, yes, matching the hatch is important, but size profile and color might actually be more important than actually mimicking what these fish are eating. A beige natural with a gray underbelly on the dragonfly, and then we've got an attractant purple on the water walker that's bringing these fish up to eat. Another good thing that you can do underneath your terrestrial, your dry fly, is to hang a dragonfly nymph under the surface of the water. Now this is a casing of a dragonfly nymph the dragonfly's already emerged. But if you were to put a weighted dragonfly nymph fly underneath your dropper, you have an opportunity to get fish that are looking up to see the actual nymph. Maybe they're nymphing underneath the surface. We don't know. We haven't seen many rise, but this is also what they will eat when they're looking for dragonflies at this time of the year.
Tom's time at Magic Waters is over. As he makes his way to the airport, Yves and I decide to try our hand at something unique today. There's a creek that carves its way through the fields near Balmaceda. When I say it's a tiny spring creek, I mean tiny. The wind sure will make today sporty.
And the fish are here, but they're quite narrow. So one of the techniques that I really like to do is like I'm going around and I'm cast over to the grass. So like big portion of the leader, they're gonna be on the grass. Just a small one, they're gonna be in the water.
Right.
It's better because we can get like a better success because we are not like putting much like stuff on the air.
Yeah.
So maybe you can go around
and approach it.
Try to cast like from very far from the creek if you don't want to spook the fish, and just put the portion of where's the fly, and I can stay here and I can tell you if the fish is grabbing the fly or not.
Okay, perfect.
They're gonna be blind.
Okay. A couple of small ones, but this wasn't the one that I saw. I saw quite a larger fish feeding here. Perfect little specimen. So it's all about stealth. It's all about being quiet and precision casting. And you can actually see these fish feeding on naturals like dragonflies and such. But we've got a little black beetle on, a little guy. And this is just an absolute blast picking up these little jewels. Look at the spots on that. Just incredible. Amazing.
Today we are fishing on the high pampas because last night we have a lot of rain and mostly the rivers around Coyhaique that had some color, but those ones are pretty clear because they come from the bottom. Right now we are fishing with beetles because it's one of the principal food that the fish had here. The places are narrow, but at the moment that you touch the water, immediately they go and they grab it. It's really fun fishing. So right now we're trying to looking for like deep water, because in general the creek is shallow, but we have like a lot of holes and a lot of big undercuts. So for the fish, it's really easy to get like a beetle or other terrestrial from the ground, and also it's a good home for them. So basically, it's find good water, deep pool, and probably it's an option for a strike.
And what's amazing is there are many parts in this little creek that are less than 12 inches wide. It's absolutely incredible. It's so fun. And I mean, you can catch fish up to 16 inches in these little creeks. It's perfect. Hunting. Best fish of the day. Yes!
Good job.
The smaller the creek's getting, the bigger the fish are getting. Now, I couldn't see that fish eat, but I heard it. And as soon as you hear that splash, that telltale splash, gently lift. That's a good fish for this little creek.
Today, I'm partnered with guide Jose Marti. We are on a trek to one of the most beautiful lakes in the region, Lago Azul, the Blue Lake.
This is Jose Marti. He's a longtime guide here at Magic Waters Patagonia. This is an unbelievable location. Lakes, rivers, lakes, rivers. What's the game plan for the day?
Game plan for today is we're going to probably fish out of the lake quite a bit since the river's kind of cloudy and whatnot.
Yeah.
and kind of high and hard for wading. But normally this is early spring. We had quite a snow melt a couple days ago, and that's why it's so high and it's pretty glacial, as you can see.
Right.
But the game plan here, we'll try out here in the mouth a little bit, and then mostly be fishing along the shore of the lakes.
Brown trout, rainbows, or a combination?
Mostly brown trout and then a couple rainbows here and there.
Nice.
I'd say it's 95% browns.
All right, let's go fishing.
All right.
Took the nip.
Good job.
Chase the dry,
Yeah,
took
you
the
see
nip.
that? How no worries about the swing or the drag here.
Wow, yeah,
The
they're
more you-
not
yeah, the more
shy
you-
at all.
Yeah.
Woo! That's fun. And you can see them coming, like...
Oh, it's so visual. And then, it's a little milky now, is that big runoff we had, but...
Sweet, Jose. Nice fish.
I'll take it. They're so cold. The water's got to be 50, no more than 50.
Yeah.
Maybe even less.
Again on the nips. So we're down into the desert lake and just come down the Blue River, caught a nice brown trout in a soft riffle, and placed a cast into some timber over here, and this guy came up and ate the dry. Now what's cool about this lake is that you can actually see everything unfold. It's super clear. Blue Lake's a little dirty right now, but this desert lake is really super clear, and you can see the fish cruising and you can see them come up and eat your dry. This guy swiped at it twice and then finally got him. Nice, good job. Now, Jose, what's the average size of...
So here, this is a small one for here. And then in general, we're talking about 20, 22, 17s, a lot of 17s. And then a good fish here can be anywhere from 3 to 4 pounds is a really good one. But they're not as common as the 20 inchers and 17 inchers.
Oh, just a 20 incher, huh? That's too bad. So we saw up near this stick, saw a fish eat a natural off the surface of the water. So I threw this little crayfish looking brown, rusty barbell out fly at it, and he came over and just whacked it. Now the browns in here are fun. We switched over with the sunshine, come out, we switched over to fishing streamers from the dries. We're gonna go back to dries here in a little bit. There we go. Got one in the, oh, look how blue its cheek is. That is
I
awesome.
love that blue, yeah. You just had to have it.
You had to have it. You just had to have it. Yeah, streamer fishing here is great. I mean, anything that is moving is going to get eaten. And the cool thing is you can see these fish come in hot and eat them, and they'll come from feet away, chase it down, eat, refuse, turn around, chase again, come back, represent, and it's on. It's just, it's stupid fun. It's an absolute riot. And the fact that you can watch these fish eat is a super treat. All right.
Sweet.
Barbless hook pops right out. Fish goes right back in. Let me show you the setup I've got here for fishing streamers. So basically I've got a type 6 sink tip line, which means the running line is floating and the last 15 feet is a sink tip, which means it'll sink at 6 inches per second. Leader material is 0x, 9-foot 0x leader. This is a straight shot tapered leader. I haven't had to add any tippet to it yet. Then that's the fly. Like I said, it's a crayfishy looking, brown, sculpin looking kind of barbell eye fly that these fish are loving. So we're going to switch back over to dry dropper for the mouth of the river, or the start of the river here out of Desert Lake, and see what we can do. See if we can get them back up on dries. So this is super cool, and this is what we've been waiting for a long time here in Chile, is we've got a caddis hatch going off, and there's browns eating all in this bay, eating caddis. As far as I can see down there, there's 2 actively feeding right here. I'll see if we can place a cast and get one. That is as great as fly fishing ever gets. You see a hatch go off, you match it, precision cast, skate it, and it's on. Oh, what a great, great fish. Thanks, buddy. And they're still feeding right there.
Well, that about does it for this episode of The New Fly Fisher. Thanks for watching. Big thanks goes to Eduardo and Consuelo and the whole Barrueto family for their incredible hospitality. And of course, the guides for making the magic happen. Remember, adventure is out there. All you need to do is go and find it. And what better way than to do it with a fly rod in your hand? For more on this show and our entire series, check us out on all social platforms, as well as www.thenewflyfisher.com. My name is Mark Melnick. Thanks for watching. And on behalf of myself and Tom Rosenbauer, we hope you find it in the wilds of Chilean Patagonia.
The New Fly Fisher is supported by Magic Waters, Patagonia, Orvis Fly Fishing, Scientific Anglers, Trout Unlimited, WeatherTech Canada,